Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Talk English. I am Emily, and I am so incredibly happy to be here with you today.
And I'm Jack. Hey, everyone. It feels so good to sit down and talk with you all again. Honestly, this is the highlight of my week.
Me too, Jack. And you know what? I'm feeling especially good today because I just had a wonderful morning. I had a big cup of coffee, I had a little walk in the park, and now I have so much energy to talk to our listeners.
Wait a second, Emily. Did you hear yourself? You just used the word have 3 times in 10 seconds. You had coffee, you had a walk, and you have energy.
You caught me, Jack. But that is actually perfect. It's perfect because today we are diving deep into one of the most important, most used, and sometimes most confusing words in the entire English language, the word have.
Oh man, the word have. I remember when I started learning, I thought have only meant I own a car or I have a pen. But then I started hearing people say, I have a cold, or I have to go, or I'm having a blast, and my brain just exploded.
Exactly. And that is exactly why this episode is so important. We aren't just going to give you a boring list of grammar rules. No, today we're going to show you how have works in real life. We're going to break it down into 3 clear parts: possession, experiences, and obligations.
By the end of this video, you won't just know the word have, you will feel comfortable using it like a native speaker. You'll sound more natural, you'll be more fluent, and you'll finally understand why we use it so much in everyday conversations.
But before we jump into the deep water, we want to hear from you. This is Real Talk English, so let's start a conversation in the comments right now. Tell us, what is one thing you have in your pocket or your bag right now? Is it a phone, a key, a piece of chocolate?
I hope it's chocolate. I have a very old coin in my pocket today for good luck. What about you, listeners? Write it down. We read every single comment, and we love seeing your English in action.
And while you are typing that, if you love these real, slow, and clear conversations, please hit that subscribe button and give us a like. It really helps our small channel reach more learners just like you around the world.
Okay, Emily, I'm ready. My coffee is hot, my brain is awake. Let's start with the first big secret of have.
Let's do it. Part 1 is possession and ownership. Now, Jack, most people think this part is easy, but there are some sneaky mistakes that even intermediate learners make. So, Jack, let's talk about the most basic way to use have, possession. This means owning something like, I have a phone, you have a microphone, we have a podcast. It sounds simple, right?
It sounds simple, but I see people making mistakes with this all the time, especially with the he, she, and it rule. I once heard someone say, my brother have a new car, and it felt like a little scratch in my ear.
Exactly. That's the first big rule for our listeners. Remember, I, you, we, they all use have, but he, she, and it, the S family, always use has.
Right, so I have a dog, but my sister has a cat. We have a house, but it has a blue door. It's a small change, but it makes you sound so much more professional and fluent when you get it right.
And here's a secret for our listeners. Possession isn't just about things you can touch, like a car or a house. We use have for abstract things too. Jack, can you give us some examples of things we have but cannot touch?
Oh, definitely. I have a great idea for our next video, or I have a problem with my computer. You can also have a secret, have a dream, or even have a headache. You aren't holding the headache in your hand, but you possess that feeling.
That is such a good point. I have a feeling that our listeners are starting to see how big this word is. But Jack, we have to talk about the big mistake. This is the mistake that tells everyone you are translating from your native language.
Oh, I know which one you mean. It's the age mistake.
Yes, in many languages like Spanish, French, or Arabic, people say, I have 25 years. But in English, that is a huge no-no.
Exactly. In English, you are not possessing your years, you are your years. So you must say, I am 25 years old, not I have. If you say, I have 25 years, a native speaker might think you're talking about a prison sentence.
I have 25 years in jail. No, we don't want that. So remember, listeners, for age, feelings like I am hungry or I am hot, we use the verb to be. Save have for things you own or experience.
Okay, so let's do a quick check-in with our friends at home. Listeners, look at these two sentences and tell me which one is correct in your head. My friend have a beautiful garden. My friend has a beautiful garden.
Give them a second. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Jack, the answer is number 2. My friend has. Why? Because my friend is a he or she.
Perfect. Now, before we move to the next part, let's talk about the British versus American thing. I often hear people say, I have got a pen. Is that the same as I have a pen?
Great question. Yes, it is. I have got a pen is very common in the UK. In the US, we usually just say I have. Both are 100% correct. So if you hear someone say, I've got a question, they just mean I have a question. Don't let that got confuse you.
I love that. It's like a bonus word that doesn't change the meaning. Now, Emily, I'm getting a bit hungry, and that brings us to the next way we use have, right? It's not about owning things anymore. It's about doing things.
You're reading my mind, Jack. Now, part 2 is all about experiences and activities. This is where English gets really tasty. We've talked about owning things, cars, cats, and headaches, but now let's move into something that makes English sound really warm and natural. We use have for experiences, meals, and activities.
This is my favorite part, Emily, because it's so social. I remember a student once asked me, Jack, why do you say let's have a coffee instead of let's drink a coffee?
That is a brilliant question. And the answer is very English. When you say, I am drinking coffee, you were talking about the physical action. You are putting liquid in your mouth. But when you say, let's have coffee, you are talking about the experience.
Exactly. It means sitting down, chatting, relaxing, and enjoying the moment. Have coffee is an invitation to a memory, not just a drink. We do the same thing with meals, right?
Always. We have breakfast, we have lunch, and we have dinner. We rarely say, I am eating breakfast, unless we are talking about the specific moment our teeth are moving. If you want to sound like a native speaker, always use have for your meals.
I had a delicious pasta for lunch today. It sounds so much better than I ate a pasta. And it's not just food and drinks, right? We use it for activities that take time.
Yes. Think about your daily routine. In the morning, you have a shower. In the afternoon, maybe you have a nap if you're lucky. In the evening, you might have a conversation with your family or have a rest on the sofa.
Oh, have a rest is my favorite activity. But wait, Emily, I have to ask you something. I heard someone say, I'm having a baby. They aren't eating the baby, right?
No, Jack, definitely not. Having a baby is a major life experience. We also use it for having a party or having a fight. These are events. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
That makes so much sense. So have is like a container for time. If it's an activity that lasts for a while, we put it inside the word have.
That is a beautiful way to explain it, Jack. It's a time container. Now, listeners, let's see if you can feel the difference. If I say I had a bad dream last night, am I owning the dream? No, I'm telling you about an experience I went through.
And this leads to those wonderful phrases we use to wish people well, like have a good time or have a nice weekend. We are wishing them a good experience.
Exactly. Now, I want to challenge our listeners again. Think about your day yesterday. What is one thing you had? Did you have a long meeting? Did you have a nice walk? Did you have a tasty snack?
Write it down in the comments. Yesterday, I had this is how you train your brain to stop translating and start experiencing English.
You know, Jack, while we are talking about experiences, I just realized something. I have to tell you what happened to me this morning.
Oh, I have to. You just changed the game again, Emily. You didn't say you own a tell, and you didn't say tell is a meal. You said I have to.
I did. And that, my friends, is the third and perhaps most powerful way to use this word. It's not about what you own or what you experience, it's about what you must do.
This is the part that every worker and every student needs to know. Part 3, obligation and necessity. Let's get into it.
Exactly, Jack. Now we're moving into a very important area. Sometimes we use have not because we want to, but because we must. When we add the word to after have, the meaning changes completely.
This is what we call obligation. It means you have no choice. For example, every morning I have to wake up at 7 a.m. I don't want to. I love my bed, but my job says I have to be there.
That is the perfect example. Have to is for rules, responsibilities, and things that other people or situations force us to do. I have to pay my rent every month. If I don't, I won't have a house.
That's a very strong obligation. But Emily, I often get confused between have to and must. They both mean necessary, right? Why do native speakers use have to so much more in daily conversation?
That's a great question, Jack, and it's something our listeners should really focus on. Must often sounds very personal or very formal, like a doctor saying, you must take this medicine.
Ah, I see. But have to feels more like a general rule of life.
Exactly. I have to work tomorrow sounds like a normal, natural fact. If you say, I must work tomorrow, it sounds a bit more dramatic or intense. In Real Talk English, we recommend using have to for 90% of your daily obligations. It sounds much more fluent and relaxed.
Okay, so let's look at the grammar for a second because I see a lot of people getting stuck here. Does the he, she, it rule still apply when we use have to?
Yes, it does. And this is a very common trap. If I'm talking about myself, I say I have to study. But if I'm talking about my brother, I say he has to study.
Right. She has to go to the doctor. The cat has to eat. Always remember that S for he, she, and it. It never goes away.
Now, Jack, let's talk about the negative form because this is where the meaning gets really interesting and a bit confusing for learners. What happens when we say don't have to?
Oh, this is a big one. Listeners, please pay attention to this. In many languages, the negative of must means it's forbidden, but in English, don't have to means it's optional.
Exactly. It means there is no obligation. For example, if I say, Jack, you don't have to wear a suit to my party, it means you can wear a suit if you want, but you don't need to. You can wear a t-shirt.
I love that. So, don't have to is like a gift. It means you are free. Tomorrow is Saturday, so I don't have to wake up early. It's a feeling of freedom.
It is, but be careful. If something is forbidden, we use can't or must not. But don't have to is just about choice.
Let's give our listeners a little test. Imagine you're at a museum. The museum is free. Do you say, I must pay? I don't have to pay?
I think they know this one. The answer is you don't have to pay. It's free.
Perfect. Now, Emily, we've covered possession, we've covered experiences, and now we've covered obligations. This word have is like a Swiss Army knife. It does everything.
It really does. But before we finish today's lesson, we need to talk about the confusion zone. These are the places where learners often mix up have with other verbs, and it makes their English sound a little broken.
Oh, I'm ready for that. Let's help them clean up those mistakes so they can sound 100% natural.
All right, Jack, we have covered a lot of ground today. But as we always say here at Real Talk English, knowing the rules is only half the battle. The other half is avoiding the traps that lead to broken English.
I'm so glad we are doing this part, Emily. I see so many brilliant students who know a lot of vocabulary, but they still get tripped up by these 3 or 4 specific mistakes with the word have.
Exactly. And the first one, we see this every single day, is using have when you should use there is or there are.
Oh, yes, I hear this constantly. A student wants to describe their city, and they say, in my city has a big park, or in my house has 3 bedrooms.
And to a native speaker, that sounds very strange. In English, a city or a street cannot possess something like a person does. If you are talking about the existence of something in a place, you must use there is or there are.
So instead of saying, in my town has a hospital, you should say, in my town there is a hospital.
Perfect. Now, there is one small exception. You can say, my town has a hospital without the word in. In this case, the town is the subject. But generally, for locations, there is your best friend.
That is a golden rule right there. Now, Emily, what about the mistake with feelings? I often hear people say, I have hungry or I have thirsty.
This is another classic translation trap because in many languages you have hunger, but in English, hunger is a state of being. So just like age, you must use the verb to be.
Right, so I am hungry, I am thirsty, I am sleepy. But, and this is where it gets tricky, you can say, I have a headache or I have a cold.
I know. English can be a bit crazy. Think of it this way. If it's a medical condition or a sickness like a cold, a fever, or a pain, you can use have. If it's just a physical feeling like hunger, cold, or heat, use to be.
That is such a clear way to remember it. Medical equals have, physical feeling equals be. Okay, I've got one more mistake for you, Emily. What about the word suggestion?
Ah, the make versus have problem. This is a big one. Students often say, I have a suggestion or I made a party.
It's like a puzzle. Let's clear it up for them. For ideas and suggestions, you can say, I have an idea or I have a suggestion. But for activities like parties, you say, I am having a party.
And remember, we never make a conversation, we have a conversation. We never make a look, we have a look or take a look. These are called collocations, words that are naturally married to each other.
Married words. I love that. You can't break them apart. If you try to say, I'm making a shower, everyone will look at you very confused. You are having a shower.
Unless you are literally building the shower with tools, but for the activity, it's always have.
Okay, listeners, let's do a quick mental fix. I'm going to say an incorrect sentence, and I want you to fix it in your head before Emily gives the answer. Ready? Incorrect. In my kitchen has a delicious cake.
The correct way is, there is a delicious cake in my kitchen, or my kitchen has a delicious cake.
Brilliant. You guys are getting so much better already. I can feel the fluency growing.
Me too, Jack. Now, we've learned the rules, we've cleared the mistakes. I feel like we just climbed a huge mountain together. We have explored the world of have from every single angle.
We really did, Emily, and honestly, I hope our listeners realize how much power they have now. This isn't just one word, it's a key that opens so many doors in English.
Exactly. Let's do a very quick super summary for everyone, just to make sure those golden nuggets of information stay in your brain.
I'll start. Part 1, possession. Remember, it's not just about your car or your house. It's about your ideas, your dreams, and your secrets. And please, please remember, he, she, and it always take has.
Part 2, experiences. Don't just eat and drink. Have a coffee, have a meal, have a wonderful time. Think of have as your time container for life's best moments.
And part 3, obligation. Use have to for all those things life requires you to do. It's much more natural than must in your daily conversations. And remember, don't have to is your freedom. It means you have a choice.
And finally, we cleared those tricky mistakes. Remember, you are 25 years old. Don't have them. And there is a park in your city. Your city doesn't have it in that way.
I feel so proud of everyone who stayed with us until this point. You are showing real dedication. Learning a language isn't always easy, but you are doing it. You are showing up every week, and that is how you become fluent.
It really is. And because we want to help you practice right now, we have a final challenge for you. This is the most important part of the video because this is where you move from listening to doing.
Here is your task. In the comments below, we want you to write 3 sentences using the 3 ways we learned today. Tell us something you have, possession. Tell us something you had yesterday, experience. And tell us something you have to do tomorrow, obligation.
For example, I have a new book. I had a great pizza yesterday, and tomorrow I have to go to the gym.
I love that. I'm going to go to the comments and read every single one. I might even correct a few if I see that he have mistake. So don't be shy. This is a safe place to learn. We are all friends here at Real Talk English.
And if this lesson helped you feel a bit more confident, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We have so many more deep dives coming up to help you master English naturally.
And share this video with one friend. If you have a friend who is struggling with English, send this to them. Let's grow this community together.
Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your amazing focus today. You are doing a wonderful job.
Keep practicing, keep talking, and most importantly, have a fantastic day.
Perfect use of have, Jack. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye. See